Orientation is not locked. Why are you doing this? Okay, I guess we're rotating it this way. Hi guys, hi. Sorry, I'm like messing around with the camera. I know that's like super annoying. If I rotate it to landscape, does it still work? Can you guys see? Hold on. Why does it say it's locked? Why are you doing this? Oh my God. Okay, sorry, I'm kind of new to these. Hi guys. Okay, so we're gonna wait like 5 minutes, give people a chance to join the Shallon Entourage, get gang. I'm gonna get comfy. As you see, I'm in my hoodie. We're chilling. It's Friday night. I have no life. I'm excited. I hope you guys don't either. It's gonna be so fun. So if you don't know what we're doing here, we are doing a charity live stream. So that means we're not just like talking and bullshitting. I mean, we are, but we're doing it for a good cause. So I am part of this church, this Black Baptist church here in New York City. And I found them because one year, like I just had all this stuff that I wanted to donate, like for the holidays. And it was like, you guys probably have charities like this where it's like, you can take like a note off a tree and it's like a kid's wish from Santa, like a present they want. Wait, what weird sound are you guys hearing? What is it? Can you guys use a word more than weird? Weird sound is not helpful. Use your noises, your mouth noises. It's in the mic. Hold on. Can you guys hear it better? Is it better? Distortion? Hold on. Let me shut the window. Hold on. Hold on, I'm coming back. Is that better? Do you guys still hear it? It's done? Okay, it's better, but it's not gone. Okay. Gone. Okay, someone said gone. I'm gonna plug the microphone back in and you tell me if it's okay. Hold on. This is why I need like a team. That better. Can you guys like, is this all right? Does it sound better? I just ordered a new mic. Like I have gone through 7 different microphones. It makes me insane. Okay, great. I'm so glad it's better. Okay, good. So I've ordered like a new microphone. So hopefully the next one that I'm getting, it's like a $500 microphone. I swear to God, if it doesn't give me the audio that you guys like, I don't even know. So, like I was saying, what we're doing here is a live stream to raise money to donate school supplies for Gethsemane Garden Baptist Church. And like I said, it's a Black Baptist church, which is not typically what you would think of as like me, like the most basic white bitch from the most basic white suburb, like gonna be their constituency. But yeah, one year I was saying like, you can get that like Make-A-Wish letter like for kids, and like they write a letter to Santa for the toy they want. And I usually would get like 1 or 2 letters. Like I would take 1 or 2 letters from this organization in New York called New York Cares. And I was like, I want to do more. Like I want to try to like donate more stuff. I have a lot of things. I work for a magazine. I can get a lot of like free stuff. Unplug the mic. All right. Well, this was like $300 too, and it's a piece of garbage. Okay. Can you guys hear me okay now? Can I put the chat on slow mode? I don't know how to do that. Let me see. And yes, I am going to like put this chat is gonna live on my channel, so don't worry about that. You guys can watch this. Okay, I'm glad it's better. So, I'm like so ADD. I'm like a cat with like a ball of foil on these live chats. Like I see what you're saying and then I forget what I'm saying. But so let me just get through my preamble and then we'll start answering questions. So, so the point is, so I like cold called this church. Like I asked New York Cares, the overarching charity foundation. I was like, hey, are there any organizations that applied to be part of this like Santa letter program that didn't get in? And they're like, yeah, this one church, like a bunch of places didn't get in. And I cold called this church. I was like, do you guys still need stuff? And they're like, yes. Really? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, we prayed for an angel to come and save us, and you're that angel. And I was like, ah! Like it's just, and I go to church there, and like they don't even, like most of them don't know that I donate things. They just think I'm like some white chick, and they're so so welcoming. Like when my grandmother was passing away, like I was getting daily phone calls, emails, text messages, Bible verses, prayer circles. Like it's just, these people are the real deal, and they have so much love to give, and they have so little in the way of like material possessions, you know? And like there's so many things that we have to give that aren't just monetary. Like love is a thing. So I really wanted to do something to raise more money for them. So many of the people there live below the poverty line. Some are even in shelters and stuff. So we can do this. And we've already raised like almost $1,200, which is crazy. And that probably like doesn't maybe sound like all that much, but like that is going to supply back to school clothes for all the kids at that church. And that's also going to give some school supplies to like the 2 college kids who go there, like the grandchildren of like some of these older ladies who like, I mean, Miss Patricia said that her granddaughter couldn't go to the school she wanted to because it was too expensive. So she's in like, I mean, she's still going to college, which is great. And it really doesn't matter where you go, but that's really sucky. You know, that's sucky to like not be able to go after a dream because you can't afford it. So we're getting gift cards for food, for clothing, for school supplies. We're doing a whole bunch of stuff. So that's why I asked you guys to like, hey, for a question. And we've gotten a ton of questions. I think I have like 24. So we're splitting it into 2. We're doing a live stream. Oh, hi from Harlem. Hi. We're going to do a live stream today, and we're doing one tomorrow. It's going to be on at 1 p.m. Eastern time. So that's like 6 p.m. in London, 10 a.m. in LA. So most of you guys should be awake. In Australia, that's like 4 p.m. next Tuesday. I have no idea. I'm sorry. I can't do the math. I didn't even want to try it, but yeah, I'm so sorry. So whatever we don't get to today, we're going to answer tomorrow. And like I said, this video is going to live on my YouTube channel, so you can watch it whenever you want. Technical difficulties and all, I'll try to like trim that out. So we're going to start at the beginning. All right. And a lot of you guys donated and didn't have a question, and that just like warms my reptilian little heart. So you're going to get big shout out. So Karen, thank you so much for your donation. FV, thank you for your donation. Okay. Rachel, we have a question. And I'm not gonna like blow up your spot with your first and last name. Okay, so Rachel donated $20, which is so generous, thank you. So she said, education is really important in my culture and extremely important in my life. Actually, okay, hold on, wait, sorry, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let me start over before I get to Rachel's question. If you guys wanna have a question answered tomorrow, there's still time to donate. Go to my Instagram, right? And click the link in the bio. And the very first link is a link to the GoFundMe page. My Instagram name is ShallonXO. You could go there, $15, you submit a question, I'll answer it tomorrow. I'm not gonna be taking questions in this chat. That's the best way to answer them, okay? Yeah. Back to Rachel's question. I'm sorry I'm such a scatterbrain, right? Okay, Rachel says, education, she's Asian. Education is really important in my culture and extremely important in my life. So I wanted to, so that was like why she donated, because that's like so sweet. So she said, I wanted to ask, is competition normal in friendships? I'm a senior in college now, and my best friend that I've known since freshman year of high school is almost always comparing herself to me and kind of doing things to one-up me. If I buy something, she has to buy it too. Like, even when I buy a purse, she says that's definitely not her style. 2 days later, she'll go and buy it, right? And like, it creeps me out. So if I go on vacation with my family, since my family loves to travel, and I post a travel pic and she isn't able to travel as much because her family think it's a waste of money, oh girl, travel is the only thing you can buy that makes you richer. She'll post a lot of like throwback pictures of her past vacations because like she sees my travel pics. There's so many more examples, but it would take me forever to list them. Anyway, how do you know when something is a friendly competition or when it's toxic friendship? That's a really good question. I don't think this like almost falls into either category. Like competition in friendship should be about like making yourself better because you're inspired by what you see the other person do. Like my best friend just lost 25 pounds. I hate her. I'm like so, but it's taken her a year to do it. She did slow and steady, diet and exercise, the old thing, you know. And sorry, I lost my train of thought. See, I read the chats and I'm like, yeah. So my best friend like lost weight, and it of course I want to like hate her for it because I'm jealous, but like I never would hate her for it. So instead of like having competition in the way that I want to like tear her down or like copy her, no. I want to use that feeling of inadequacy. I'm going to look hard at that and I'm going to be like, I'm going to make myself better. I'm going to get back on my keto diet. I'm going to go to Orange Theory 3 times a week. I'm going to cowboy the fuck up because like I can have what she has. And Rachel, the thing with your friend is like, she's not doing that. It's like she's copying you. And I hate it when people say that imitation is a form of flattery. I hate that because I don't like it when people copy me. I mean, yeah, I guess it's a compliment that you want to be me, but like, don't take what I have. The things I've worked for, the things that I have like gone out on a risky social limb to like, yeah, I'm wearing an outfit that might be weird and oh, you just come along and copied me because I was the frontiersman on that. Like, okay. So I also don't know that it's like a toxic friendship necessarily in that she's competing with you. She's competing against her own low self-esteem is what it is. And in that sense, it's kind of toxic. You know, like I don't get the sense that she's trying to tear you down necessarily. She's just like parroting everything you do. And I gotta say, being friends with someone with low self-esteem, it's exhausting, dude. It's exhausting. Like, I've been there and it's like, I don't know, man. It sucks so much. It's so draining. And because the solution is to like build them up and yay, be their cheerleader. But when someone's infringing on your territory, when they're making their problems your problems, you don't really feel like being their cheerleader, you know? And so this is what you can do. You can sit her down and be like, hey, let's have some real talk. I notice that when I do something, you kind of do it too. And like, I don't even care if you have the same purse as I do. I don't care. It's a purse. Who cares? I don't care what you post on Instagram. What I care about is where it's coming from you, like from inside you, because it makes me think that maybe you're not happy, you know? And that's what I care about because I want you to be happy. So like, I mean, I'm flattered that you want to like dress like me and post the stuff like I'm posting, but I really want to get to the root of like what's going on with you. Like, are you not happy in the way your life is going? Do you not feel like your personality is good enough on its own? Because it is. Like, I love your personality. So-and-so loves it, blah, blah, blah. You got to love it too. And you have to be authentic to that personality because it's great. And like, I'm being me and you have to be the best you that you can be. You know, so approach her from that standpoint and like, call that shit out, shine a light on it. Monsters live in the dark. And if she reacts poorly, because you know what people do when they don't like what you're saying, they gaslight you, right? And she might be like, you're being crazy. Who cares if I'm not the same person? It's like, okay. And you can tell her, be like, you know what? I came to you trying to have a heart-to-heart with you because I love you, and this is the attitude you're giving back to me. I don't know that this is a relationship I need to stay in. You know, I don't know that, first of all, I need to be around somebody who copies me all the time because it's weird. And I also, moreover, I don't need someone in my life who isn't interested in self-awareness and growth. So I'm going to give you a week to think about this. The ball is in your court on whether or not you want to grow as a person and maintain our friendship as an adult. And that's all you can do sometimes. You know, you can lead that horse to water, but you can't make him think. I'm so funny. You know? So I hope that answers your question. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's like you sit down, you say your truth, you come at somebody from a place of love and not like confrontation. Like, what do you do with my purse? Because that's just gonna put the divide between you even bigger. And then if they still want to act childish, then maybe them copying you and doing all this weird stuff, maybe it's like a blessing in disguise. Because now you can see the writing on the wall that like, oh, they aren't interested in self-awareness or growth. They want to be petty and they want to be closed-minded and they want to stay where they are. And life and friendships, they have to grow and they have to expand, right? And if one person isn't interested, that's their loss. All right, we're on to Carly. I love the name Carly. I've always loved it. So here's my question. I just transferred to an enormous university in a city where I do not know a soul from a small community college where I knew a lot of people. I don't know anyone here, and I feel like I've lost the friend-finding skill set. Like, I felt like making friends and meeting people was really easy then, so now I feel super awkward. And to add to that, I'm a chemical engineering major. Can you make some poison for me? Just, doesn't matter why. I'm a chemical engineering major, and it's a dude fest up in here. How do I get up the nerve to go out and make friends with strangers? Well, first of all, if you need help with your dude fest, Shallon is available. I will get on a plane. I mean, it's the least I can do for my followers. But I'm so glad somebody asked this, because this has become the number one question that I get. How do I make friends as an adult? And adulthood doesn't always start when you think it does. Like, we think, oh, adulthood starts when you're like 40, or like 23. No, adulthood starts when you're in a new environment where things aren't necessarily built right in. And like, we get such a warped sense of how to make friends because historically we make friends via proximity. Like, my best friend in elementary school was whoever was sitting next to me in homeroom. It's just the nature of the beast. Familiarity breeds bonding. And then you assume that, well, I mean, life is always going to be that easy. You're just going to show up to this place every day and everyone there is going to be your age. Everyone there is going to be your friend or your enemy. Like, it's your own little social circle. And you get out into the real world and you're like, so I understand this. And basically I did the same thing. Like, I was the only person from my high school who went to Cal Poly. Like, nobody did. I was the only person I knew who moved to New York City after graduation. I knew one person here, and I saw her like once a week. It really wasn't that often. So I have thrown myself into new environments where I don't know people like a lot, and I've learned the method. I've learned how to do it. First, I think you need to do like a good hard look at who you were in that small town, right? Not only why you left, because that's really the key. If you had wanted that small town life and just to have like a built-in friend set for the rest of your life, you never really had to grow or do much to earn it, you would have stayed there. So be confident knowing that you are ready for this. You purposely chose this challenge. You knew consciously or unconsciously what you were getting into, and you made the decision in your heart that you could handle it, and you can, right? So go back to that, and when you feel nervous, be like, no, I'm built for this, because you are. So when I say look at who you were in that small town, like, you know how when you like go on vacation, it's like you always tend to like meet people because you're like vacation Shallon, you're like vacation self, you're like free, and like there's no reputation that follows you, and you're curious and you're energized and blah, blah, blah. Think about who you were in your small town that in a positive way. Did you feel comfortable going in places because you knew everyone? Like, there were traits that you had that you're gonna wanna take into this new situation. Were you really funny? Were you warm? Were you empathetic? Did you try a lot of new things because you were like kind of bored? So you're like, I'm gonna go skydiving, I'm gonna do belly dance, blah, 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 whatever it is. So latch on to that best self, that like almost the inverse of the vacation self. And then you get your ass out and about. I made friends in college by doing a million different things. Cause like, I might have said this before, I didn't really like my college. When I went to Cal Poly, I was really at a point in my life where I wanted to like branch out. I am from Irvine, California. It's a beautiful, beautiful, safe place, but it's a boring place. No one does drugs. There's no graffiti. There's no homeless people. Like it's like Pleasantville. It's like perfect. And I was ready for some some grit. Nope, did not find it at Cal Poly. It's like a country school. It's an ag school. It's an engineering school. So it's like conservative. And I was like, I'm gonna go fucking nuts here for 4 years if I don't if I don't stimulate myself, So I joined ROTC. I took belly dance. I joined the improv team. I was in a sorority. I volunteered for a political campaign. I had temporary jobs. I babysat. I wrote for the school paper. Oh, that writing for the school paper? I'm a professional writer now. And I wouldn't have branched out like that had I been in a very safe environment. Had I not expanded and put myself in a risky social situation, I would have just like stagnated, and I'd probably be working in like HR or something, something lame. But you have the skills to branch out. So don't be afraid. Do things that are social, do things that are physical, because it's a lot easier to make friends when you're both engaged in the same activity, right? And it's even easier if it's a physical activity, because physical activity releases endorphins. Like, this is just scientific. Join a running club, join a co-ed volleyball team, and be outgoing on yourself. If you're taking an Italian class or something, be like, hey guys, after class tomorrow, everyone come over to my place. We're gonna have prosciutto and burrata, and we're going to practice our Italian. Be brave. Be a leader. Step out there, establish yourself as that leader, and people are gonna follow. Because look, in school, everyone wants to make friends too. I never get questions from someone saying, I have too many friends. everyone wants to hang out with me. I'm overwhelmed. I've never, ever heard that, okay? All I hear is I'm away at school, I'm in a new city, I'm 25, I'm working a job, and I have no friends. What do I do? I'm so lonely. Everyone else is feeling this way too. So if you establish yourself as the leader, people are gonna come flocking to you, right? And at the end of the day, even if like you don't make like amazing best friends, but like you will, you're gonna keep yourself busy and you're gonna feel fulfilled, and that's gonna make you magnetic, and that's what's gonna bring the people, you know? So even if you don't make your BFF playing volleyball, you're gonna be like energized and sweating and like getting the stress out, and then you're gonna go into situations more confident, and that confidence is the magnetic thing that's gonna get you the friends, right? All right. Rhea, thank you so much for your donation. Or is it Rhea? It's a really pretty name. Everyone here has such pretty names. Okay, so Karen. Oh, this is sweet. I donated because I think it's so important to give back to others. All these kids are our future, and I want them to at least have the chance to go to school and turn their lives around. Be good, educate themselves, and be whatever they want to be when they grow up, because they deserve it. Love from Austria. Hi, Karen. Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you so much. Oh, Brea, or is it Brea? Davenport? My grandmother's last name was Davenport. No question to ask, just want to support an awesome cause. Thank you for making great videos and using your powers for good. Don't worry, girl. I use them for evil. Don't worry. Today I won't. Okay, so this is a question from Hannah. Dear Shallon, I've been following your advice to diversify and live my best life, and men have been lining up like crazy. Hannah, drowning in it. I've got my standards, and they've got me wondering whether I'm just too perfectionistic though. I just haven't felt any huge spark with any of them so far, and I did meet up with them to see whether I feel enough of a spark. You know, I assume she's dating online. I was really on the fence with one of them and then decided against it because I'd rather be all in. My standards have always sounded pretty reasonable to me. Similar humor, interests, similar life plans, nice, loyal, honest, talks to me about his emotions, alpha, ready to put some effort into a relationship, stuff like that. And obviously sparks. So when is one too much of a perfectionist? You guys ask such good questions. I don't want to go against my gut feeling, but great charity idea. I love it. Okay, this is a great, great, great question. Because yeah, it's like, how should a healthy relationship feel? Like, how should this feel? And I think when our self-esteem is where it should be, it's quality over quantity. Insecure girls run through dudes the most. How do I know this? I was one of them. When I was at like my lowest, like self-esteem wise, I mean, I was sleeping with one guy, I was dating another, I was talking to another, there were two more in my DMs. It's like I had a bunch because I needed that much stimulation because I couldn't be alone with myself. You know what I mean? And what I interpreted as sparks was pure, uncut desperation. Desperation. I was just desperate to have a guy in my life, a guy in my bed, a guy in my inbox. Like, I didn't really care who it was. And like I always say, I was like a dog chasing a car. What would I do if I actually caught it? Like, what would I have done if one of these guys was like, I want to marry you? Look, I didn't know them, and I didn't like even want to know them. You know, it was about, I just needed the distraction. But when I got my self-confidence where it needed to be, I'm talking to like a lot fewer people because I'm pickier. And when you're choosy, you have less of things. Think about like furniture. People who have very like refined taste, very specific taste, they don't have a bunch of fucking tchotchkes in their house. Like someone said to me, like, I got hair in my mouth. Someone said to me that like a cluttered house is a sign that you're poor. And I'm like, they're like rich people have clean, like not just like clean, but like tidy houses, like minimalistic houses. It's a sign of wealth. And I was like, huh. Because they're like, because their mind is uncluttered. So they want their surrounding uncluttered. I was like, that's interesting. Now, I've been to a lot of rich people's houses, like in the South, where it's just like throw pillows on throw pillows and tiny little mallards made out of ceramic things. So I don't know if that theory holds water, but it kind of makes sense, you know, if you think about it. So when I am at my best, in a way, I'm at my least sparky because I'm choosy and I'm evaluating people in a more objective way. Yes, I'm going on chemistry, but I'm also going on like a more stable and quiet, intuitive, emotional checklist. you know, and I'm not just like overlooking things. When you're confident, red flags become deal breakers, right? And so, yeah, I might like feel a spark for someone, but I'm looking at things objectively because I want him, I don't need him. And I'm like, this doesn't have legs. This doesn't have longevity. Ultimately, yeah, I want to like nail him. I want to get him in bed and just like rub my face in him. But like, I know that this person is not good for me. And I have enough self-esteem now that I'm going to move on. So I'm not surprised that you're feeling less of that hot pants feeling. Dating is like fishing. You got to cast your line out again and again and again. And I say that all the time because it just never gets less true. So it really is going to be a matter of quality versus quantity. You aren't going to find as many guys who like make you want to rip your clothes off. But that's good because like I said, that feeling, that chemistry spark, so much of the time in us really is desperation. So reframe the chemistry, but don't date someone if you don't feel it. Like literally don't. Because we've all been down that road where it's like, he's so good on paper, why don't I like him? And then you feel like guilty for not liking him. It's like, really, I've been praying for this like forever. And here God delivered me this like tall, hunky guy who has everything I want and he's treating me right. Why don't I want to see him naked? You know, you feel ungrateful, so you force yourself to do something. And then you know what happens? The ick. You get the ick where you're just like, don't touch me with those fingers. And it's like, the ick is not an ugly person's disease. I've only gotten the ick for like very hot guys, but I didn't feel that spark and I thought I should have. So I was forcing myself to do something I didn't want to. They had no idea why suddenly I was being so mean to them. I felt bad. It was just a bad situation. So wait until you feel it. There's no rush. You're not going to go through every man in the world and be like, well, I never found one. No. Keep working on you. Keep those standards where they are. The right guy will come. It only takes one, right? All right. Let's read some of your comments. Oh, you guys are talking about Putin and Trump. How fun. I'm glad I'm not reading these comments. They sound depressing. Putin is hot, though. He's my favorite dictator, like hotness-wise. He plays hockey, and it's like, I feel like if I went out with him, like, I don't know if he'd, like, hit me or kiss me, but it'd be a hell of a ride either way, you know? If you're going to date a dictator, it's got to be exciting, right? So, Anastasia... Or is it Anastasia, which is so cool. It's like a Bond villain. Hello, Shallon. What you're doing is so great. I wish I could donate more. Girl, you're doing great. Thank you. So my question has to do with my ex. We had a short story, but unfortunately, we're working in the same environment. Ugh. I see him about 1 to 2 times a week at work, and we were still talking. It was painful for me. I cut him off lately, but people are asking what happened between the two of us, and why are we not speaking anymore? As you advised, I had the attitude of like, who is this person? Like, who the hell are they to ask you about your life? Shut up. And I didn't say a thing. But he started spreading around what happened, playing the, I don't know what I did to her. She just doesn't want to speak to me anymore. And the whole, she wanted more than I did. I wanted to kill him. My anger is real. How can I stick it to him? This is why I hate dating people at work. It's the worst. And I feel like the show The Office like gave us such a warped sense of like how well workplace romances could go. I mean, I know it didn't go great for like Dwight and Angela for a while, but like, yuck, I hate it. And it can really hurt your career as a woman. So if you haven't dated someone you work with yet, don't. But since Anastasia already has, there's no point in being a Monday morning quarterback. So this is tricky because it's like, when it comes to someone gossiping about you, like the right answer on paper is don't feed into it because it's just going to, it's just going to keep it alive. Like a scandal dies out after a news cycle. Like that's kind of our like motto as journalists. Like I worked in journalism for a super long time. And like, it really is true. Like in 24 hours, nobody's talking about it if the people involved aren't still talking about it. But then it's like a few days go by and some like the celebrity's like tweeting and you're like, here it is again, it's all back to life. And I try to do that with my life. It's like, I read mean things about me on the internet. Do you know that there's a website that has a whole thread talking shit about me? It's like Gossip Guru Gossiper or something. I Googled that and my name and there's like literally a thread. And I have to like make a login to see it. And I'm going back and forth in my mind like every other hour. It's like, I'm gonna look, and I'm not gonna look. I'm gonna look. Why would I look? It's only gonna make me angry and annoyed. You know? So annoying. Anyway. But when it's like when a scandal happens, like you really just have to let it lie and it'll go away. But yeah, he's the one who keeps talking about it. So I would go to him. I would go to him and I would shame him. I would shame him. Be like, you know what? I really hoped that we could like move forward as adults. And I would hope that after all of this time, you would have a little bit more respect for me than to shit talk me in my place of business where I am trying to work on my careers and my goals. You know why I hope that? Because that's how I felt about you. I had that respect for you. I haven't said anything out of respect for you and your career. So I need you to sit and explain to me why you don't have that kind of respect. So you can put the ball in his court and see what he has to say. Be like, don't talk about me. Keep my name out of your mouth, okay? We had a thing, it ended, leave it alone. You're ungentlemanly and you're ridiculous. And if that doesn't work, you fucking go to HR, dude. I'm serious. Like, I don't know if you guys listened to my podcast. I think it was like last week. Yeah, about taming a toxic boss. And it's like, I'm tired of rolling over and being like, oh, I'm just gonna like, you know, just take the high road. I don't like the high road. I get nosebleeds. No thanks. I'm gonna go down on the low road and battle the people coming for me. If it's work, forget about it. I spent a decade of my life working in New York City media, taking the high road. And you know where it got me? I don't know, man. I mean, it got me pretty far to the top of the food chain, but my talent got me there. And looking back, like, I should not have let people just walk all over me because, like, I don't want to make waves. What it was really was cowardice. If I'm being honest with myself, and I'm not saying that's Anastasia's situation at all, but like for me, like I didn't want to put a target on my back with a psychotic boss who the US attorney is investigating for blackmailing Jeff Bezos. Like that wasn't the person, the bear I wanted to poke. But now it's like, we cannot keep letting people do this to us. So go to HR and be like, look, there's somebody here who's talking about me like in a personal way, talking about our sex life, like he's sexually harassing me and he's like creating a hostile work environment for me and I can't concentrate. And if I can't concentrate, I can't do my work. And that means I can't produce for you guys. So what do you want to do about this? Turn it on him. He wants to run his mouth. He can suffer the consequences. I'm done protecting men. I'm done. Yeah, investigating Jeff Bezos. Yep. Pathetic. Here's a bad idea. Let's blackmail the richest man in the world with dick pics. He probably has a big dick. Like, he's tall, he's fit, like, just show him. Who cares? Alrighty. Okay, Selena donated $20. Thank you. I donated because I want to give back to people, as our bad bitch Shallon says. That gives me just like tingles. And because I believe education is the solution to so many problems. It really is. So as for my question, I have a disease called multiple sclerosis since 7 years. I'm well and the disease is sleeping for the last 5 years. And I always find myself hesitant when it comes to sharing this information with a boyfriend, like since I got this disease. But not only boyfriends, like in general with people. I don't want to be taken as like the sick one. And the thing I hate most is people feeling sorry for me, like I'm weak, and I hate it. So I grew up in a small city where everybody knows everything about everyone, and I always had like this need to appear perfect. Hopefully I'm not like there anymore. So otherwise I would be that girl with that disease. So my question is, would you share this information with the people around you? Boyfriends, friends, bosses? I'm always afraid that it will affect my career and my romantic relationships. But on the other hand, it is good for employers and boyfriends to know that at some point, because like, hello, if it becomes like an issue, they need to know the reality of a situation. So this is a good question. I think it really just depends on what you're comfortable with. Like, I don't think there's a right and a wrong amount of information to share with anybody. And I think society almost tells us that like our history and our stories are like public information. They're not. I'm not a library. You don't just get to like breeze on in, check out what you want and stroll on out with it. Nope. No, I'm a locked vault. You get what I choose to give you. And I never really like lived like that. I was like, bleh, like, oh, here's all of me. I mean, look what I do on this channel. Like I tell you guys everything anyway, but I do it out of choice, not because like, I feel like, well, you know, if you want to ask me something, of course I'm going to answer. Like somebody alluded to that in one of the other questions. It's like, people ask me things all the time, but like, I just don't answer. It's like, you're not entitled to that information. Do you guys watch Basketball Wives? I watch it for a little bit. Oh, spit my stuff. But like the girl Drea Michelle, it was like on one of the reunion shows, and this was like early on, and Jackie, who's like so crazy and like follows her basketball player husband to every single game, like for the entirety of his career, so he won't cheat on her. But Jackie was like, your past confuses me, Drea. Like, we don't know if you were a stripper. She's like, I just don't know the whole story. And Drea's like, you don't need to know. You ain't signing my checks. You ain't fucking me. You ain't my God. And I was like, oh, I got goosebumps again just thinking about it. And I was like, I'd never considered that. I'd never considered the fact that like I have the right to be like, you don't get to know. Closed. So that might be kind of a good point of view. Like, don't feel like you have to tell people, because I understand, like, you don't want to be taken as the sick one. Like, our self-image is very, very important, and I truly believe that our mind creates our body. And if you're surrounded with people who view you and talk to you and treat you like you're the sick one, you're gonna live that label. You want to be around people who view you as the smart one, the funny one, the warm one, the ride or die friend, the great ear to listen to, the fun baker, the chick to take out on the town. Like, but you're right. Logistically, there are some people who might need to know. So it doesn't have to be an all or nothing thing. You don't have to tell every single guy you date on date number 2. You don't have to tell every single person in your group of friends. It's about trust. And maybe you're going to date people for 5 years and never find someone worthy of that trust. Maybe the next person you date, you're like, you know what? This is a person who I want to go a little bit more all in with, and I'm going to let them in on this, you know? But again, you can tailor how much of that story you tell, right? And you can say like, look, it's not a big deal. The disease is dormant, but like every once in a while, like I need to just like sleep for 12 hours at a time. And so I'm not just like being lazy. It's like a medical thing. But anyway, like, what are we going to do today? You know, if you don't make it a big deal, other people won't. And you can say like, I'm here for any questions, but like, other than that, like, I don't like to really talk about it because it's not how I define myself. So I will let you guys know if I need help with something. But other than that, don't worry about it. Just let's get on with our lives. Because that way you'll feel like you're more in control. They will have like a plan, you know, like it's hard for people to know how to deal with someone who's going through a medical issue because it's like, do I call them? Do I go over there? Do they want to be bothered? Do they want to talk about it? Do they not? So if you're like, here's what I need and here's how you can deal with it. People be like, okay, there's a plan. I feel good about this. And that cuts out the awkwardness, right? So everyone will be coming from a place of power and strength, and therefore it's not going to be the big elephant in the room, right? And good luck. Take your probiotics. It's going to help. You know how I am with probiotics. Oh, thank you. Kids deserve supplies. Thank you for your donation. Okay, so Sarah wrote, yeah, I do need to take a breath. Oh, the General Lee. I used to love Dukes of Hazzard. Thank you for telling me to take a breath. I did need that. Oh. The fact we all have to put up with this guy's presence. Is there a weirdo on here? Is there a weird person? Oh boy. Oh, is someone like hate watching this? That's so sad. I mean, I don't care. I'm making money off you, so feel free to stay. Stick around. Feast your eyes on Justin Bieber grabbing his penis. There was somebody on my last Justin Bieber video who was like incensed that I had this picture up. She's like, who is this 40-year-old woman? Really? I mean, I'm not 40. I never plan on turning 40, quite honestly, and give me a fucking break. You know I don't look like that. It's like, who is this 40-year-old woman with this picture of a man grabbing his penis in the background? I was like, first of all, genius, that's Justin Bieber. And you clicked on a video about Justin Bieber. Wow. Why are you so pressed all of a sudden? So weird. Oh, is General Lee the bad person? Oh. You say I'm 55? That's cute. That's cute. I fuck all the guys you like, by the way. Okay, Sarah Smith. My skin is glowing. Thank you. I have a really good highlighter. It's Cover FX, and it's like the liquid one. It almost looks like it's an eyedropper, but it's not. So it's like, looks like it's functional, but it's not. And it's kind of in like a copper color. I find gold to be too bright and a bronzy to make me look sort of like I'm I just very bizarre. I look like shiny and dirty. Okay. Shallon, can a sociopath ever change? No. Sociopathy is a matter of neurons in your brain. It's spindle neurons. Like some sociopaths are created, you know, through like attachment disorders, but no, they don't change. You can't grow a conscience, you know, unfortunately. Okay. Sarah said this. Hello, Shallon. I'm wondering what to do with someone who is extremely independent, ambitious, focused, mysterious, but still friendly and open, yet never get hunted by men, you know? I feel like I've done what I can to put myself out there, and while still mainly focusing on myself and my own betterment in life, I'm hard to get, but I don't have unreasonable standards. So I don't get approached that often, and when I do date the guys, when I do date, the guys stop putting in effort almost immediately, even if I'm aloof. Like, I'd like to know what I can do to change this in order to get hunted more frequently, because I'm at a loss for what to do. I know I'm worth it, but after being perpetually single and not being chased like by men, I'm starting to feel like there's something wrong with me. Really good question. I know the feeling. Well, I think it goes back to what I was telling, I think it was Hannah. Like, it's a matter of quality versus quantity. You know, fuck boys, like, Stevie Nicks said it. Players only love you when they're playing, you know? And for a fuckboy to come after you, that's not a compliment. They come after girls when they smell weakness, when they smell blood in the water. They don't go after the Michelle Obamas. They don't go after the Rihannas. They don't go after the Shallons, and they don't go after the you. They go after, like, the Snookies. You know, like, they go after the girls who seem like they're gonna be like so desperate, they're easy to manipulate, and so that is gonna cut down a lot of the population, and it's gonna seem like, well, I don't get that much attention. That's because you've weeded out the weeds. When you pull literal weeds out of a garden, you're like, well, God, there's not as much foliage here. I know that's because only the quality things are left, right? But I know what you mean. It's like, it's hurtful and it's frustrating. It's like, oh, so I did all this work on myself and I'm great, and my reward is loneliness. Like, no, it's not cool. And I know what you mean about like guys like stopping, like not putting in the effort right away. I mean, that, I think that's weird. I feel like I'm missing a piece of the puzzle, and like, I'm not trying to like blow up your spot, and I'm certainly not trying to say that you're wrong, but it's like, it's times like this that I wish I had more like data, because if we keep finding ourselves in the same place again and again, we have to take a moment and ask ourselves like, okay, am I engaging in patterns that are precipitating this? Not like it's our fault, and it's not like we're deserving it, but it's like, is there something? It's like, are you sleeping with them right away? Or are you actually planning all the dates? You know, and like, well, that's not chasing. And I'm not saying that you are, but like, maybe just sit and look and like, what patterns are emerging? And if you don't know, like, ask your friends, because friends always, they're like keeping meticulous notes, and they're like, oh, let me tell you, you want to know? Come sit down. We're all here for an intervention with you. We have a PowerPoint, you know, so they might have some answers, but like, honestly, just keep trying. Like, there are quality guys out there, and like, for me, I can't ever play hard to get. I have to actually be hard to get. Like, I'm not great. When I'm like, I'm not gonna write him back right away, and I white knuckle it through like 11 minutes before I write back like 7,000 words. I'm like, great job. So it's better if I really am busy. If I'm doing things where I'm not checking my phone, like, no, I can't meet up with you late at night. No, I'm not gonna stay up till 2 a.m. on a Thursday, like hooking up with you. I really do have to get up early tomorrow. I have things that I need to do. I have priorities. So try that, you know? I don't know why I'm stumped on this question. I feel like maybe my brain is short-circuiting. Also, okay, here's a thought. Maybe I'm curious about what your definition of hunting is, you know? Like, one of my friends has a what I believe is an unrealistic standard of courtship. Like, she expects a vacation within a month that he pays for, plans, and I'm like, not only is that unrealistic, I don't even think that's like healthy. Like, you don't go to a foreign place with a guy you've known a month, girl. It's a dateline waiting to happen. So, and I'm not saying your standards are too high. It's never about like high, it's about realism, you know? And like, I feel like I'm not even answering this question. You know what? I'm gonna come back to this question tomorrow. You guys may have stumped Shallon. I'm gonna think about this and I'm gonna readdress this on the live stream tomorrow, okay? Sarah, we're gonna come back to that. Oh, Diane! My best friend donated $500. Chicky! You know, in my little like pea brain, I was like, wait a minute. We've made this money and I don't see all the comments. Like, are people donating like shadow donations that I can't see it? Chicky. Oh. See what happens when you have great girlfriends? They become rich and then they support your causes. Okay. So Eva said this one, and I think I pronounced it right. I believe she's like Polish or Hungarian. It's EWA. I know because my tailor is named Eva. First, Shallon, I love you. You're amazing. Thank you. I feel like you became kind of a role model for me. Thank you. So my question is, I'm a really big 23-year-old girl. I'm like 6 feet tall and a little bit on the obese side. In American sizes, in European sizes, it's 44, 46, and I can see it's American 12, 14. I feel like it can be a big problem in my love life, especially with my preference. I just don't feel attracted to chubby guys. I know it sounds like hypocrisy, but I can't change that. I would love to love chubby guys, and it would be so much easier, but ironically, I'm only attracted to tall, skinny, or athletic dudes. So I feel like I'm coming from men outside of my league, and I'm competing with these really beautiful skinny girls. Polish girls. Oh, she is Polish. I got it. Polish girls are really beautiful and usually slim or at most just curvy. Well, I have only beautiful face. I mean, I think, you know. So what should I do? I can't lose weight. It's a bigger psychological problem in my case that I work on during my psychotherapy, and it can take months, even years, blah, blah, blah. So should I just stick to what I like, hoping one day I'm gonna find the right guy, or should I try to like big guys? Girl, if you think a size 12 to 14 is big, come to America. We get bigger. We're the land of opportunity in terms of caloric intake. Like, even if she's wrong, even if she's a size 22, 24, whatever you are, whatever you're into, whatever you need, there's your match out there, right? There are 8 billion people clogging up this planet. Do you literally think, statistically, that you're not gonna find someone who's into you? No, no. I look at girls all the time. I watch girls like obsessively, like when I see you guys out, like especially like younger girls, teenage girls and stuff, and I just realized I probably sounded like I appear a predator. I'm so sorry. But I'm like observing, and I see so many girls who are stone cold beautiful, beautiful. I saw a girl waiting for the subway today. I was like, that girl is a smoke. And she was like hunched over. She had this bad posture. She was probably like 19. Bad posture, this sour look, like just this weird like wraith face, like scowling around. And I wanted to go up to her and grab her by her beautiful shoulders and be like, you are wasting your youth, okay? You're wasting your youth. Like, no, and I watched guys walk by her. No one even looked twice at her. No one looked at her because she put out such a bad vibe, right? Conversely, I saw another girl on the train who was bigger, a thick chick, and she was radiating. She was laughing, she was talking to their friends, she was like dressed, her shoulders were back, her head was lifted, and guys were like, I watched guys watch her, they were mesmerized by her, mesmerized. And she was not as like conventionally beautiful as this 19-year-old girl. It is your vibe. I have gotten, like my trajectory with boys has gone like this as I've gotten older, which you don't think, but it's because I've gotten smarter. And I'm gonna do a whole video on like how to like stay sexy as you get older, because that's what you guys voted on for the J-Lo video. I'm gonna do both topics, but I'm gonna start with that one. And it literally comes down to like, it's the attitude you put out. 6 feet is like not that big. I have 2 friends who are 6 feet tall, and like guys jock them like crazy because they don't slither around like Gollum. They walk in and their shoulders are back, their chin is up. They're like, I am here. And guys are like, okay. You know, it's like they're powerful, and people respond to power. And people don't care what size or what shape that comes in. They respond to chemistry and they respond to power. And more than anything, they respond to confidence, because that's the bad bitch. And like, I actually, if you think like you should only love bigger guys, like, no. Whenever I see like bigger girls, they're always with the skinny dudes, always. People like opposites. You know, like a skinny guy doesn't always want a skinny girl. It's just a lot of like bones and elbows, you know? They're like, wow, like, let me like touch it. Let me get up in there. I like girls, and I actually do kind of like thicker girls, you know? It's like something to grab onto. I've hooked up with models, and I've hooked up with girls who are like, more meat on their bones. Oh my God, more meat any day of the week. Any day of the week, you know? Not that there's anything wrong with me. I'm not telling you, oh, it's bad to be skinny. Like, the models were like beautiful. But like, whoever you are, be that person. Like, throw those slender shoulders back, throw those big old arms back, throw that head up, work it. Because you know what? You can't change it. So whatever skin you're in, rock it. It's exhausting to hate your body. I'm in a point right now where I hate my body, and it's like all I can think of. It's like having a rock in your shoe. You know, you're like moving around and you can like go about your day, but you cannot, it's so distracting. It blocks out everything else. And it sucks. It sucks. And life is just too short to spend like that. It honestly is, dude, you know? My cousin's skinny and beautiful, and his wife is overweight, and he loves her so much. Right. Guys, like, they really do care more about face than body. That's why there's the term butterface. You know, like, guys want a cute little face to look into. They want a big, bright smile, big, bright eyes, shiny hair, and they really want someone who's nice to them. Like, the number one thing that a guy looks for in a girl, do you know what it is? Someone who's easy to be around. Someone who's easy to be around. Is she like talking all the time? Is she drama? Is she high maintenance? Is she chill? Is she a good listener? Is she empathetic to you? Do you have chemistry? Does she want to like make you a treat when you're upset? That's what they're looking for. So go out and be attracted to who you're attracted to. Project that confidence, and you're going to get all the skinny dudes you want. You're going to be fighting them off. You can have 2 under each arm. Go to Florida. They're real skinny down there. Okay. All right. We've got about 10 more minutes. Okay. So this will be our last question, and then I'm going to read some of your comments here. And we're, like I said, we're going to get to all the other questions tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern time, right here. And if we have more questions to answer, we're going to do one on Sunday. I have no life. Lucky you. Okay, so Steph donated 20 bucks. My question pertains to men who work long hours, specifically investment bankers, finance bros. Oh, I love a finance bro. Like, I love them. Those powder blue shirts and like the zip up, like navy fleeces with like Barclays Bank on it. Oh, the panties coming off. I love them. They're the worst. This is a generalization, of course, and I'm sure that it varies from person to person, but recently I got dumped by an investment banker who prioritized his job above absolutely everything else. Don't get me wrong, work is important to me too, and my job is similar, in a similar field, holds the same weight, but like you said, if something's important, you'll find a way, and if not, you'll find an excuse. He basically used me as bragging rights to his banker bro friends, and once we hooked up, we didn't even have sex. I had apparently served my purpose for him, and he dropped me like a hot potato. So I'm curious what your thoughts are here and what your experience has been romantically or sexually with these type of boys. And I prefer to refer to them as boys rather than men. Agree. Oh my God, yeah, I've like run through half of Wall Street, and like one thing I find with dudes like that, like they are very like, they're like sheep. They go into finance because their dads were in finance. They went to an Ivy school, and it was just, well, of course they're working for a hedge fund. Of course they're going to be an investment banker. Like, of course that's what they're going to do. Of course. And then there's like this magic age in their mind they're not even aware of consciously, but that's the age where they're going to settle down. It's about like 28 to 31. It's usually whenever their parents got married, weirdly. It's like that's burrowed into their brain because they're following the path. They're like, okay. And they're just about this creative in bed, which I'm sure you've noticed. Yeah. And so until that age starts getting close, it's like they're just like a closed door. They're like a locked door. And it's frustrating because it's like, okay, well, how the hell do I know? That's what's irritating. Like, maybe you don't, you know? And it's like, well, what are you supposed to do? Just like date and get ghosted? But like, I feel like I heard red flags in here. Like, you did not like the way this person treated you even before you hooked up, you know? And maybe you were like caught up in the like the romance of the iBanker, like they make a lot of money and like their job is really stable and they're like preppy and they, you know, they're kind of like the American dream. It really is alluring. They come from like a beautiful place in Greenwich and they have 2 golden retrievers and both the golden retrievers are named Cooper. They're always named Cooper. So it's very alluring. But like when you can divorce yourself from that and be like, what is this person really bringing to the table for me? You know what I mean? Like, do I even like them? Could I hang out with them for like a week on a beach in Mexico? Maybe not. And I think we have to get like a good sense of like someone's priorities. Ask them about work. If they're like, I'm up at 5 a.m., I'm not home till 9 p.m. Like people really, we only have so much energy. And if he doesn't have the energy to give to a relationship, he doesn't have it and he doesn't want to manufacture it. Love is logistics and we can't just fall for the person, we have to fall for their circumstances too. And what's frustrating is like girls, no matter how busy we are, we leave room in our life for love. We're like a bowl of water. It looks full and it's hitting all the edges, but you can still put your finger in there. I mean, so to speak. You know, we make room, it expands. Boys are like a brick. There's nothing going in. So until they set that intention to like, I'm ready to have a girlfriend. Like you are banging on a locked door. And the way to know that is to kind of like, ask people. Like, don't let anyone waste your time so that you look like cool and chill. I'm not saying you have to sit someone down on a first date and be like, where do you think this is going? But be like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Like, how gnarly is work for you? Like, here's a question, be like, would you ever just like take a Friday off spontaneously and like go to Atlantic City or something? If they're like, no, I couldn't do that. That's kind of a good litmus test. I mean, that means like the job really does come before anything else. But like you said, if it's important, they'll find a way. And if it's not, they'll find an excuse. So we really just have to like try not to hook up with people too soon. I mean, I'm the pot calling the kettle black. I know I'm throwing stones here, but it really is going to save us time and heartache because hooking up gets you, it gets the feelings caught. We're hardwired that way. It's biological, especially if they touch your nipples. Yeah, you want to keep them away from your nipples because it's like nipple stimulation creates that oxytocin, the bonding hormone, because like you breastfeed and you need to bond with your baby so you don't like leave it outside the cave because it's annoying. So keep them away. Keep the bra on. Just make out. And like draw them out. Take it slow. If they're not in it to win it, they're going to get bored and they're going to make an excuse and they'll be like, whatever. Don't get caught in the passive reciprocation loop where you're the one setting plans. Okay, I'll come over to his house. He's tired. Bitch, you're tired. You wore heels all day in an underwire bra. Get out of here. He can come to you. It's an Uber, not a horse-drawn carriage. Baloney. So try to suss out someone's motives as much as you can. But yes, in like the iBanking community and like in the finance bro world, like it's like they're off until something just switches them on. They're a weird breed. And then they never go back to an ex. They never go back. When they're like, okay, I guess I'll settle down now. It's literally the next bitch they meet and her name is always Meredith. It is always Meredith. I have been jilted for so many Meredi, okay. Lulu, my dating life changed since I found your channel. Thank you. Sorry, I'm like a little dyslexic, so like reading these questions, sometimes I have like trouble with it, but I'm trying. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed this. Like I said, oh, what if you live in a beach in Mexico? Girl, take me with you. So like I said, we're gonna be back at it tomorrow, 1 p.m. Will I look better? Probably not. Probably not. So right now I'm gonna go to a concert. I'm gonna go see Maren Morris. Follow along on my Instagram stories. I like Maren Morris's voice and I like her songs, but I don't know who told her she is Rihanna of Nashville, because she dresses like Rihanna of Nashville. And girl, you can't pull it off. It's not working. It's not for you. This is not your vibe. I don't know what is, but it ain't that. I was on a flight with her once and she wore a romper. First of all, I never wear shorts on a plane. Disgusting. And her whole butt was hanging out. It was like a stripper romper. And I'm like, why? Not your vibe, sis. So anyway, I'm going to her concert. Follow along, Shallon XO on Instagram, and I'm also gonna put up a new Post Malone video tonight, so be on the lookout for that in like a half hour. Notification gang. Oh, a happy ending. You guys want a really quick happy ending? Okay, so happy endings are what I used to call like the sex tip I would leave at the end of videos, but then my manager's like, stop doing that, they're gonna demonetize all your videos. So I was like, oh, but I'll do one here because maybe like YouTube won't figure it out. Okay, let's talk about, okay, somebody give me a good happy ending topic. No, Posty's not insane. Ooh, it's a good happy ending topic. You know, sometimes I wish I could just like CC you guys on like my sexting, not like pictures, that's weird, but like naughty talk, because I'm really good at it, and I'm never vulgar. Like I don't use any like anatomy words. It's just like you could publish it, and sometimes I'm like, does anyone want to hack my phone? Am I famous enough to get my messages hacked, my DMs? Because they're nice, they're good, you know. Okay. Ooh, let's see. Let's get some more happy ending topics. Okay, all right, you know what? How to dirty talk with confidence. Well, it definitely is easier over text. And the thing with dirty talk, the only thing that matters is confidence. Like you can say whatever you want, if it's silly, if it's naughty, if it's just kind of like basic, but you say it. You say it. And the thing I've learned about dirty talk is like if you're doing it IRL, don't always expect a response, you know? Because when guys have said stuff to me that is like super like crazy, I have nothing to say in return. Like I'm speechless, and that is like a good thing. And I know it's maybe annoying for them. They're like, I just said the thing that I said, and I'm like, cool. Like I come back with like, wow. Like it's just stupid because I'm like paralyzed. I'm like stunned with like a trank dart of sexiness. So it's okay if you say something and he has nothing to say in return. So that's why I don't really ask like questions. I make kind of like statements. I say things like I call boys sir, or like Mr. So-and-so, their full name. I don't say JT, I say James. And they're like, oh, it's from a place of power. And I sort of like speak like a James Bond villain, like a villainess. There's a ripple of sinister, but just enough to be like, ooh, titillating. I'm trying to think of something I said recently. I guess it wasn't recently, but like something I said that was effective. Oh, like I was going to bed and I was like, sweet dreams. This is a long time ago, but whatever. I was like, sweet dreams. Like I'll sleep fitfully dreaming of your hand around my slender throat. Like it's not naughty, but they're like, oh, because the thing is, it isn't naughty. Like I'm not saying things like, man, my pissy, like gross porn things. And that's what guys are used to hearing. And so if you say that, it's like, all right, you know, it checks the box because it's familiar in that porn sort of way. That didn't work. But it's like, it's not like from a place of like power. I don't know. It's not very alpha, I guess. So I come from a really like alpha place. I might do a video on this. Who cares if we get demonetized? Actually, okay. This is what I'm gonna do for you guys. If you join my live chat tomorrow, 1 p.m. here, Eastern time, we're gonna do a happy ending, and I'm going to read you some of the best dirty talk lines. It's gonna be like a Mad Lib, okay? And in the chat here, I want you guys to share dirty talk lines that you've heard or that you like. I mean, keep it clean, because otherwise YouTube will filter it out, so just like asterisk out like the naughty words, or like just do like C instead of cock-a-doodle-doo, you know what I mean? Okay. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining. I will see you tomorrow. Go out, have fun, be safe, but not good. Wash your hands and wrap it up. I love you guys.